Yes, that's it. 5-year-old Mia, a homeless girl, cheered after a simple math calculation on her fingers, leaving billionaire Nathan Hayes speechless. The sparkle in her brown eyes was identical to his late wife, a painful secret about to explode on the drizzly grounds of the Seattle school. Before we begin, let us know where you're listening to this story from: Seattle, New York, or somewhere else in the world. And when it ends, don't forget to rate the story from 0 to 10. Let's get started. Early morning in Seattle, drizzle pattered on the eaves, creating a constant whisper, a reminder of long, lonely days. Mia curled up in a thin blanket, her small body shivering from the cold. With skillful hands, she adjusted her faded, oversized dress to her skinny frame and tried to smooth her messy brown hair that covered her eyes. Then, she arranged her worn-out backpack, the last gift from her mother, stuffed with treasures. A few scavenged pencils, blank sheets collected from trash bins, and an old, still usable notebook. Her belly rumbled, reminding her of hunger. Mia opened a small bundle containing half a piece of bread she got last night. A man at the bakery sometimes left her a little something. She ate slowly, savoring each bite. On the streets, she'd learned how to stretch out her food. For the last 8 months, Mia had lived with her grandmother after her mother passed away. But her grandmother was elderly and frail, working hard as a housemaid, and often left Mia to fend for herself. Before that, she and her mother begged at street corners. Mia missed her mother's gentle smile, even on days when no one stopped to help. She remembered how they huddled together for warmth, how they shared the last bite of food. "We're rich in another way, Mia," her mother would say when their stomachs growled. And then came the cough. Then the high fever. One night, Mia slept with her mother under the bridge. In the morning, she couldn't wake her mom. A passerby stopped. Someone in a uniform called an ambulance. But it was too late. Her grandmother took Mia in, but with weak health and a damp, tiny house. She couldn't fully care for the little girl, leaving Mia often wandering on her own. The only thing left was the lessons. Even while with Grandma, her mother insisted on teaching Mia the importance of learning before she died. "Math is like wings, Mia," her mother had said on nights lit by scavenged candles. "With wings, you can fly far from here." That's how Mia learned her first numbers. Her mother never told her how she knew math so well. That was a secret Mia carried with her. When her mother died, Mia decided to keep learning to feel close to her. In the trash bins behind the school and library, Mia found real treasures: torn books, old notebooks, discarded magazines. At night, under streetlights or in the small house when Grandma was away at work, the girl practiced. Numbers became calculations. Calculations created a new world. Carefully packing her belongings into her backpack, Mia began her morning walk. She knew every alley, every shortcut in the city. She knew the safe places, which gutters to avoid. She knew which trash bins might have good food and which people on the street weren't dangerous. 15 minutes later, she arrived at her favorite spot. St. Thomas School. The stately building stood behind the tall fence, near a pond glittering in the rain. Mia found her familiar spot, a hidden corner behind leafy trees, where she could watch the main gate without being seen. She sat down and waited, as she had every morning for months. Before long, the first cars arrived, shiny, enormous vehicles, so different from the crowded buses where she sometimes took shelter from the rain. Out stepped children in clean uniforms, white shirts, navy skirts or trousers, spotless shoes. They carried colorful backpacks and lunchboxes decorated with characters Mia recognized from discarded magazines. She noticed every detail: how parents stooped to kiss their children goodbye, how kids ran off to meet friends, how they laughed about things she didn't quite understand. Some kids complained about waking up early or about homework. Mia couldn't understand why anyone would complain about something so precious. "I forgot to do my math homework," a worried boy said. "We have art class today." A girl with braided hair skipped along. The bell rang, a sharp sound Mia had become familiar with. The children lined up neatly and entered the building. Soon, the yard was empty again, a new kind of silence settling in. Mia moved closer to the fence, her small fingers gripping the cold metal bars. She couldn't see inside the classrooms, but her imagination filled in the rest. What was it like to sit in a real chair at your own desk? To have a new notebook with no stains or tears? To raise your hand when you didn't understand? In her mind, she created a vivid classroom, with maps on the wall and books on the shelves. She imagined a kind teacher writing on the board, explaining wonderful things she'd never known. She pictured making friends, chatting at recess, sharing snacks. "I'll learn fast," she whispered to herself. "I know I can." Hours passed as Mia sat there. When the sun became too harsh, she moved to a different spot, always careful to avoid the adults who sometimes patrolled the school grounds. At midday, another bell rang. Before long, the yard filled again with children running, playing, snacking on delicious-looking treats. Mia observed the groups that formed, the games they shared, the peals of laughter. Her gaze was dreamy, silent, not jealous or bitter, just longing to belong, to be part of a world that seemed to exist on a different plane, separated only by a fence, yet as distant as the stars. Sometimes, thinking no one was looking, Mia would pull her scavenged notebook from her backpack and practice what she'd taught herself. She wrote numbers, worked out sums, drew on the ground when she ran out of paper. Once, she found a mostly complete math textbook in the trash. It took weeks to decipher the problems, counting on her fingers, drawing on the earth to understand. When she finally solved her first double-digit addition problem, her joy was immense. Late in the afternoon, as school let out, Mia watched children run into their parents' arms, proudly showing off gold star stickers, excitedly talking about their day. Mia waited until everyone had left to leave her hiding spot. Walking back to her shelter with her grandmother, she picked up anything useful: forgotten pencils, fallen leaves, discarded chalk, small treasures to continue learning alone. That night, like every other, Mia sat under the weak street lamp, or in the small house if her grandma came back late. She opened the new, missing pages storybook she'd found. Reading aloud, she imagined hearing these stories in a teacher's voice, surrounded by other children. When sleep came, Mia packed up her things and hugged them to her chest. She wrapped herself in the thin blanket, laying on the worn-out bed. "Tomorrow," she whispered, as she did every night. "Tomorrow might be different." This morning began like any other for Mia. Breakfast was half an apple picked from a park trash bin and the last piece of bread. After packing her meager belongings, she set off on her daily walk to St. Thomas School, while her grandma had left for work early. But something felt different this morning. The sky was an unusually bright blue, cloudless, a light breeze rustling the leaves. Mia took her usual route, but her steps felt lighter, as if something was pulling her forward. At the school, Mia found her spot behind the trees. Cars began to arrive. Children entered, just like every other day. The bell rang, the yard emptied. But today, Mia noticed something she hadn't seen before. A small gap in the garden, where the fence was lower, hidden by a flowering bush. Mia looked around. No adults. The security guard who usually patrolled was busy unloading boxes at the main gate. Now or never. With her heart pounding, Mia approached the gap. She crouched, carefully slipped through the bushes. Her hair caught on a branch. But it was okay. In a moment, she was on the other side, inside the school grounds for the first time. The garden was even more beautiful from within. Bright flowers in well-kept beds, trees casting cool shade, soft grass under her bare feet. Mia stood still for a moment, just feeling it, like stepping into a magical world from a book. The sound of crying shattered the magic. Mia turned toward the noise. On a wooden bench, hidden behind some bushes, sat a girl her own age. She wore a school uniform, white shirt, navy blue skirt, and her blonde hair was braided in two perfect plaits. The girl was holding an open notebook, looking disappointed. Mia hesitated. Should she hide? Run back to the fence? But the girl's expression made her step closer. With silent steps, Mia drew near enough to see what the girl was focusing on. It was a math worksheet, simple addition problems, the kind Mia had learned from a scavenged notebook. The girl looked up, startled to notice Mia. For a moment, the two just stared at each other. Two 5-year-old girls, different, yet so alike. "Who are you?" the girl asked quickly, wiping her tears away. "I haven't seen you in class." Mia swallowed hard. Should she run? But those blue eyes held no fear or anger, only curiosity. "My name's Maya," she replied softly. "I don't go to school here." The girl frowned, confused. "Then what are you doing here? And why are your clothes so dirty?" Mia glanced down at her faded dress, suddenly noticing the stains and small tears. She blushed, feeling embarrassed. "I just wanted to see what the school looked like inside," she mumbled, stepping back, ready to run. "Wait," the girl said. "Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. I'm Lily." Mia stopped. Lily smiled shyly and patted the empty seat beside her. "Want to sit? I'm trying to do my homework, but it's really hard. The teacher will be mad if I don't finish." Mia approached cautiously and sat on the edge of the bench. She peeked at Lily's notebook. "What is 3 plus 5? The first line read. Lily drew some tally marks, trying to count. "Can I help?" Mia offered. "I know how to add." Lily looked surprised. "You know how, even though you don't go here?" For the first time, Mia smiled. "I don't need to go here to know. Show me, can I?" Lily pushed the notebook to Mia, and Mia carefully picked up the pen as though it were something precious. "Look, this is how it works," Mia explained. "You have 3 fingers here, right?" She held up 3 fingers on her left hand. "And 5 more here." She raised all the fingers on her right hand. "Now count them all." Lily counted each finger. 1, 2, 3. She went on until the last finger. 8. The answer is 8. "That's right," Mia smiled. "Now try the next one." Lily looked at the next problem. 4 plus 2. She held up 4 fingers on one hand and 2 on the other, counting out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 6. "See? You can do it," Mia encouraged. Lily's eyes sparkled. Quickly, the girl solved the next problems using her fingers, cheering each time she found the answer. But then, Lily stumbled on a slightly harder addition. Her fingers got all mixed up, and she ended up accidentally smudging ink on her nose, leaving a funny black mark. Mia tried not to giggle and whispered, "Now you look like a math kitty." Lily saw the mark, burst out laughing, instantly less tense, and the two girls giggled together in the quiet garden. "How did you learn to do this?" Lily asked, genuinely curious. "You're so smart." Mia hesitated. No one except her mother had ever called her smart. "I taught myself from a book I found." "Taught yourself, but no teacher?" Lily was amazed. "I couldn't do that. You're like one of the genius kids on TV." Mia laughed, a soft sound she rarely heard from herself. "I'm not a genius. I just like to learn." The two girls kept talking. Lily told her about their teacher, about friends, and about her favorite music class. Mia listened, fascinated, soaking up every detail of a world she only knew through the fence. "Where do you live?" Lily finally asked. Mia looked away. "With my grandma. But she works a lot, so I'm usually alone." "Alone? What do you mean?" Before Mia could answer, they heard footsteps coming. A woman in a school uniform appeared around the corner of the garden. When she saw Mia, her expression changed. "Who are you? How did you get in here?" she asked, voice firm as she strode over quickly. Mia jumped up, ready to run, but Lily grabbed her hand. "She's my friend, Miss Peterson," Lily explained. "She helped me with math." The woman looked Mia up and down, noticing the old clothes and bare feet. "This area is for students and staff only, Ms. Peterson said, her voice gentler but still firm. "I need you to come with me to the principal's office." Panic rose in Mia's chest. The principal's office meant trouble. Trouble meant the police. And the police meant... She didn't want to think about it. "Please, she was just helping me," Lily insisted, still holding Mia's hand. "I'm sure, honey, but there are rules." Suddenly, a man appeared and asked, "Is there a problem here?" A tall man in a dark suit with brown hair walked toward the group. Mia noticed his eyes were just like Lily's. "Mr. Hayes," the woman greeted him. "I'm handling it. This girl came onto school grounds without permission." "Dad," Lily exclaimed, running to hug the man. "This is my new friend, Mia. She's super smart. She taught me how to do math with my fingers." Nathan Hayes looked at Mia with curiosity. His gaze swept over her old clothes, messy hair, and bare feet. But unlike most adults Mia had met on the streets, his look wasn't disgusted or judgmental, just gentle curiosity. "Is that so?" he asked, crouching to his daughter's level. "Well, I'm glad you found such a good teacher." The woman cleared her throat. "Mr. Hayes, even so, we have procedures. We don't know how this girl got in." Nathan politely cut her off. "It's fine. I'll handle it." Ms. Peterson looked hesitant. "Are you sure? She's clearly not a student here, and we need to..." Nathan answered firmly but with a smile. "I'm sure. I'll take full responsibility." "Thank you for your concern, Ms. Peterson." The woman hesitated a moment longer, then nodded and walked off, not forgetting to cast one last suspicious look at Mia. Nathan turned to Mia, who still stood frozen, ready to run at any sign of danger. "So you're the famous Mia," he said, extending his hand like to an adult. "I'm Nathan, Lily's father. Thank you for helping my daughter." Mia eyed the offered hand warily, then shook it quickly. "It was nothing," she muttered. But who is Mia, really? And why did her simple math skills lead Nathan to a secret in the business world he desperately wanted to bury? Nathan gave a warm smile, pulling his hand back after the brief handshake, his eyes still holding a gentle curiosity that made Mia instinctively relax a little. "Daddy," Lily exclaimed, bouncing excitedly beside him, unable to hide her enthusiasm. "Can we take Mia out for snacks? She helped me a lot, and I'm hungry." Lily's giggle echoed through the garden, overpowering the drizzling rain tapping on the leaves, like a joyful silence breaking through the tension of earlier. Nathan glanced at his watch, then turned to Mia, whose stomach growled right on cue, easing the heavy mood. "You know, that's a great idea," he said, his voice gentle but firm. "Lily, have you finished your homework?" "Yes. Mia taught me everything," Lily answered immediately, pulling Mia towards the school gate. Mia hesitated, her small hand clenching the backpack strap, her breath growing heavier as she thought about leaving this temporary safe place. The cafe was just 2 blocks from school, nestled beside a shimmering lake in the rain, the enticing smell of coffee wafting through the misted glass windows. Nathan chose a table by the window where soft light streamed through trailing raindrops, creating a cozy feeling in the wet Seattle day. He helped Lily into her seat, then gestured for Mia to sit across, his voice warm and deep. "What would you like to drink? Chocolate milkshake or juice?" Mia looked at the colorful menu, her fingers trembling as they touched the glossy paper, a strange sensation that made her feel uneasy. "Anything is fine," she whispered, her gaze averted. Lily jumped in, her childish voice excited. "Mia, try the milkshake. It's really good." Like melted ice cream, Nathan ordered. And while they waited, he observed Mia more closely. The sparkle in her brown eyes painfully reminded him of his late wife, a wound he had long tried to bury in his work. The gentle clinking of a coffee spoon broke the silence as the waitress brought out the food. Hot burgers, golden fries, and milkshakes topped with snowy white cream. Mia carefully held the burger, taking a small bite. The explosion of flavor made her eyes light up, though she tried to hold back a sound of delight. Lily, mouth smeared with cream, grinned widely. "See? Delicious, right? I told you." Nathan smiled, but his eyes gradually grew more serious. "Mia, you're really good at helping Lily with math. Where did you learn?" Mia swallowed her bite, her voice quiet. "My mom taught me a little. The rest I learned from books I found." Nathan leaned in, curious. "Self-taught? That's impressive. And your mom now?" Mia's face darkened, her gaze dropping to her milkshake, her breath becoming more labored. "Mom passed away 8 months ago. Now I live with my grandma, but she works as a housekeeper, gone most of the time, so I'm usually alone." Silence enveloped the table, the only sound the rain tapping against the window. A pause full of emotion. Lily's eyes widened, her voice sad. "Mia, I'm really sad for you, but I have Daddy, and now you can stay with us." Nathan was touched, memories of his late wife flooding in, the woman who had given him hope amid the business world's crises. "Daddy, can we take Mia home? Her grandma has to work and she's all alone," Lily pleaded, tugging Mia's hand, her childish voice lightening the mood. Nathan hesitated a moment, then nodded. "Mia, if you want, you can come stay at my house for tonight. Just for one night, so I can help contact your grandma." Mia looked at Nathan, her heart pounding, but the kindness in his eyes made her nod slightly. But as they left the cafe, Nathan's phone vibrated with a call from the office, a mathematical data crisis threatening his billion-dollar empire. The phone vibrated incessantly, interrupting Nathan's thoughts as he drove through Seattle's wet streets, the drizzle still tapping on the windshield, creating a frantic rhythm like his heartbeat at that moment. He glanced in the rearview mirror and saw Mia sitting quietly beside Lily, her brown eyes sparkling under the dim streetlights, and decided to turn off his phone. Company crisis could wait, but this moment could not. Nathan's villa appeared among the green hills, its large glass windows reflecting the nearby lake, exuding a luxurious yet cold atmosphere after the loss of his late wife. Lily pulled Mia inside, their tiny footsteps echoing on the polished wooden floor, as warmth from the fireplace spread, making Mia shiver unconsciously. For the first time in months, she actually felt warmth. "Mia, go take a shower. The bathroom here is huge, and it has a hot tub." Lily squealed, dragging her upstairs, their childish laughter overpowering the sound of rain outside the window. Mia entered the bathroom, her trembling hand touching the ice-cold faucet, as warm water poured down like a gentle rain, washing away layers of dirt and tiredness. She stood still, letting the water stream over her hair and skin, the unfamiliar sensation making her heart race. This was the luxury she'd only ever imagined from found books. Nathan knocked gently, handing her new clothes. A soft cotton dress, navy blue like Lily's uniform, and a pair of warm socks. "Try these on. You'll feel more comfortable," he said through the door, his voice deep and gentle. When Mia came out, her wet hair hanging limply over her shoulders, her new outfit made her look like a real part of the house. Lily clapped her hands. "Mia, you look so pretty. Now we really look like sisters." Nathan smiled, but a fleeting sadness crossed his eyes. Mia's image heartbreakingly reminded him of his late wife, the woman who once brought life to this cold home. "Now, how about dinner? I'll make you some hot milk," he suggested, leading the two girls into the modern kitchen, where warm yellow lights glowed on the granite countertop. Nathan awkwardly opened the fridge, his hand shaking as he held the milk carton, spilling milk as he tried to pour. This billion-dollar CEO, so familiar with business strategies, was now as clumsy as a teenager. "Whoa, Dad, why's the milk flying everywhere?" Lily giggled. Mia covered her mouth to stifle a laugh, easing the unfamiliar tension. "Let me help. Just stir gently with a spoon." Nathan blushed but joined in the laughter. "Thank you. I'm better at rescuing companies than rescuing milk." The humorous moment made Mia relax. She sat beside Lily, nibbling a sandwich, the simple taste nevertheless warming her heart. After dinner, Lily dragged Mia to the study desk, a math notebook open to unfinished problems. "Mia, keep teaching me. Dad says I have to learn well to become a CEO like him one day." Mia nodded and put up her fingers. "Look, 5 plus 4 is 9. Just like counting fingers when we play tag." Lily tried along, cheering when she got it right, the laughter of the girls echoing, drowning out the rain outside. Nathan watched from the doorway, his heart full of emotion. Mia was not only helping Lily but also bringing back hope. He thought he had lost, but then the phone vibrated again, his assistant's urgent voice. "Mr. Hayes, the math data's gone missing. The competitors are taking advantage. The billion-dollar empire is on shaky ground." Nathan gripped his phone tightly, his face shadowed under the warm yellow light of the villa, while the sound of drizzling rain tapping on the window pulsed like a drum, in sync with the anxiety surging in his chest. His assistant's voice still echoed through the speaker, urgent and full of worry. "Mr. Hayes, all mathematical data has been completely lost. The competitor is exploiting the loophole. If we don't fix it immediately, the billion-dollar empire will be truly shaken." Nathan took a deep breath, trying to keep his voice calm. "I understand. I'll handle it later. I'm busy now." He hung up, the soft click like a sudden pause in the midst of a storm. But in his mind, the fierce business war still raged. The missing numbers, the rivals' schemes, and that fragile hope. Lily pulled Mia into the spacious living room, the echo of their small footsteps resounding on the shiny wooden floor. The warmth from the fireplace spread, making Mia shiver involuntarily. For the first time in months, the girl felt real warmth, not the biting cold of wandering nights. "Mia, your room's here. There's a big bed and lots of toys," Lily exclaimed, opening the guest room door, soft light shining on the pristine white bedding, the faint scent of new fabric making Mia freeze in place, her hand trembling as she touched the mattress, soft as a cloud. Nathan followed, his voice warm and low. "Mia, make yourself comfortable. I'll call your grandma to ask for permission, okay?" Mia nodded slightly, heart pounding. Thoughts of her grandma, the old woman with rough hands from domestic work, made her anxious. Grandma was always exhausted after work, her raspy voice coming through the old phone. "Mia, take care of yourself. I'll be home late." Nathan grabbed his phone, found the number Mia had mentioned over dinner, and dialed. The ringing sounded in the silence, the howling wind outside the window whispering secrets. Before finally, her grandma's tired but anxious voice answered. "Hello? Who's this?" Nathan explained quickly, his tone polite but firm. "Ma'am, I'm Nathan Hayes, Lily's father, Mia's friend at school. Mia helped my daughter study today, and I'd like to invite her to stay over tonight, if you agree. I'll bring her home tomorrow morning." Her grandma fell silent for a moment, a heavy sigh crackling over the speaker like a tired pause. Then she said, "Mia, the girl talks a lot about school. I work as a maid. I'm often late, so if you can take good care of her, then fine. But don't let her be a bother, and bring her home early tomorrow." Nathan nodded, though she couldn't see him. "I promise, ma'am. Thank you." The call ended, the long beep ringing out, and Nathan turned to Mia with a reassuring smile. "Your grandma agreed. Now you're our honored guest." Mia breathed a sigh of relief, her grip on her backpack loosening, but worries about her grandma still lingered. The frail old woman, their musty little house with the smell of leftover food, where Mia often made thin porridge for herself while waiting for her grandma to come home. Lily pulled Mia into the kitchen, their running feet making the wooden floor creak cheerfully. "Mia, help me study some more. I want to do math games like earlier." Nathan followed, trying to shoo away company worries, but his phone buzzed again, making him frown. A text from his assistant. "The rival has hacked the data. Immediate mathematical solution needed." In the modern kitchen, golden light shone on the glittering granite countertop as Nathan opened the fridge to get milk. But his hands trembled and spilled it, leaving white patches all over the floor. "Oops, Daddy, what's wrong?" "Milk went everywhere." Lily giggled, pointing at the puddle. Mia covered her mouth to stifle her laughter and whispered, "Let me clean. Just roll paper towels like this." Nathan blushed but laughed along. "Thanks. I'm better at saving my company than saving milk." The funny moment lightened the mood. Mia sat beside Lily at the dining table, the math workbook open with unfinished exercises under the cozy light. Mia raised her finger, her voice soft but firm. "Look, 5 + 4 = 9. Just like playing tag with your fingers. One runs ahead, the other chases." Lily tried it and whooped in delight when she got it right. "Wow, Mia, this is so much fun. I did it!" The laughter of the two girls echoed, drowning out the sound of rain outside. But Nathan, standing nearby, couldn't focus as his phone kept vibrating. He accidentally blurted out on the speakerphone, "Complex mathematical data is lost. The rival schemes to exploit the gap. We need a simple solution to turn the tables." Mia listened, her brown eyes sparkling under the light, and she whispered, "Complicated math. But sometimes it's as simple as counting on your fingers. Like a game, break it down and add it piece by piece." Nathan spun around, surprised. "What did you say?" "Explain." Mia hesitated, her hand touching the cold wooden table, but her voice was steady. "I don't know much, but my mother taught me even big math comes from the small stuff. Like your company, break the data into small parts. Use simple formulas like finger counting to check for holes." Nathan listened, his heart racing. The simple idea from Mia suddenly reminded him of a mathematical formula his late wife had once used, a romantic secret he'd buried deep. He tried it immediately on his laptop, fingers clicking on the keyboard, and amazingly the simple solution saved the smaller project. The data gap was temporarily patched. "Unbelievable!" Nathan exclaimed, his face radiant under the kitchen lights. "You saved me, Mia. This idea, genius." Mia blushed, but her heart warmed. For the first time, she felt like she belonged, no longer just a wanderer. Lily clapped her hands. "Mia, you're a superhero. Daddy, can Mia stay again tomorrow?" Nathan nodded, though in his mind, the business war still continued. The rival hadn't stopped yet. Mia gradually settled in, helping Lily clear the table, the cheerful clatter of dishes in the background. But she inadvertently heard Nathan whisper on the phone, "Need to find Mia's grandma. Maybe she knows the secret about the girl's mother." Related to the old business world. The next morning, rare Seattle sunlight slipped through the gray clouds, shining on Nathan's windshield as he drove to Mia's grandmother's damp little house. The crunching of the tires on the gravel road, echoing the anxious rhythm rising in him. Mia sat next to him, her brown eyes sparkling under the gentle light, but her face was tinged with sadness at the thought of leaving the warm mansion. A single night there had sparked dreams of a different life. Nathan turned off the radio, his voice warm and calm. "Mia, today I'll talk to your grandma about you staying at my place a little longer, okay? I think it will be good for you." Mia nodded softly, her hand clutching her backpack strap, her breath heavy as she caught the familiar smell of the house, cold food and mold. Her grandmother opened the door, her eyes clouded after a late shift, radiating exhaustion, but her weak smile on seeing Mia warmed the air a little. "Mia, you're home. And Mr. Hayes, thank you for bringing her back early," she said hoarsely, wiping her stained apron. Nathan stepped in, his voice polite but firm. "Ma'am, I'd like to talk to you about Mia. She's a very smart child, and I think I can help. I want to begin the process of temporary guardianship to give Mia a more stable place to live." Her grandmother fell silent for a moment, the ticking clock on the wall filling the pause with thought. Then she sighed and sat down on a creaking wooden chair. "I'm old, weak, and my cleaning jobs just about cover food. Mia wanders a lot because of me. If you can help, that's good. But it must be done legally. I don't want to lose her." Nathan nodded, taking out his phone to call Michael, his colleague, a lawyer specializing in adoptions. His voice was resolute. "Michael, I need urgent help. 5-year-old girl, living with struggling grandma, starting temporary guardianship, aiming for adoption. Send the forms now." Michael replied quickly. "Got it. Need background documents, social assessment, court contact, will email." The call ended, the soft beep like a period for a new hope, but Nathan sensed Mia's anxiety. She looked at him, her brown eyes glimmering under the yellow ceiling light. "What's guardianship, brother? I don't want Grandma to be sad." Grandma stood up, her hands trembling as she took an old wooden box from the cupboard, the scent of dust filling the room as she opened it. "Mia, these are your mother's things. I've kept them since Rebecca died." Mia touched the box, her fingers trembling as she turned the yellowed pages, a handwritten math formula, vague notes. "The rich man deceives, but numbers don't lie." Mia whispered, her voice emotional. "Mom told me about the rich man. She worked for a big company, was tricked out of her formula, then got really sick." Nathan listened, his heart pounding. This secret from the past lined up with what his assistant had heard. The formula could be the key to turn the tide against the rival. Grandma sighed. "Rebecca used to be a programmer, tricked out of her data by a business partner. She died of stress, left Mia behind. If you need it, here's her legacy." Nathan took the paper, his finger touching the familiar handwriting. It was like a formula his late wife once used, a fate link that made him shiver. "Thank you, ma'am. I'll use this to help Mia, and maybe save my company." Mia, curious. "Save the company? Like fun math I teach Lily?" Nathan smiled gently, hiding his tension. "That's right. Tomorrow I'll pick you up, and we'll do fun math at my house." Grandma interjected. "If you adopt her, I'm okay. But let me visit her often." Nathan nodded, emotion welling up. The legal process had begun, but the secret from Mia's mother could change everything. On the way home, Nathan called Michael. "Also investigate Mia's mother Rebecca's background. My rival is involved." Michael was surprised. "Okay, but be careful. If this touches business rivals, it can get complicated." Nathan hung up, the car speeding through the drizzle, the tire noise echoing a rhythm of schemes about to explode. Back at the mansion, Nathan opened the legacy box under his desk lamp, the formula shining, a rescue formula, but also a ticking time bomb if the rival found out. He called his assistant. "Research Rebecca, Mia's mom. This formula can turn the tables." Assistant. "Found it. She was deceived by the rival firm's CEO, but if you use this information, they'll come after you personally." Nathan stood still, heart pounding as he thought of Mia, the innocent little girl, her mother's secret dragging him into an even deeper corporate maelstrom. He opened Michael's email, the legal documents. A shock. Mia's mother had worked for his company, not the rival, and the formula proved his innocence in an old case. Nathan trembled. Destiny. Nathan stood frozen in the study of his mansion, the yellowish desk lamp shining on the old paper from the box of keepsakes, numbers and mathematical formulas glittering like whispers from the past. His heart pounded, breathing heavy as he read Michael's email. Unexpected legal documents. Paperwork proving Rebecca, Mia's mother, was a programmer at his company 6 years ago, not a rival as his assistant originally reported. This formula, bearing Rebecca's original signature, proves his innocence in the old lawsuit, the intellectual property case 3 years ago that cost Nathan a $1 billion contract and damaged his reputation. He always avoided mentioning that old case, where the rival tricked Rebecca into taking the formula, then falsely accused Nathan of copying it. But now this original evidence turns the tables. Nathan was the victim, and the formula belonged to him from the start. Nathan whispered shakily, "Destiny. Rebecca worked for me, and now her daughter saves me again." But the brief joy was extinguished by the haunting anonymous call. "Don't intervene, or Mia will be in danger." Nathan clenched his fists, his hand touching the cold wooden desk, the sensation a reminder that this formula is a salvation formula to turn the tables on his rival, but also a ticking time bomb. If they learn he has it, they could attack him through Mia. He called his assistant at once to double-check everything, his voice urgent. "Double-check Rebecca, Mia's mother. This formula turns everything." The assistant replied, nervous. "I checked thoroughly. She was deceived by the rival CEO after leaving your company. They took the formula and accused you of theft. But if you use this info, they'll attack you personally, maybe through the child." Nathan hung up. His heart pounded like the fine rain outside tapping on the window, seeing the logic clearly. Rebecca worked for him, created the optimization data formula, the very key to his company's early success. The rival tricked her, stole the formula, then sued Nathan for copying it in order to destroy him. The old case caused him to lose his wife from stress, and now the original formula proves his innocence and could allow him to countersue for billions. But the risk is high. If the rival finds out, they could threaten Mia to silence him. Nathan sighed heavily, deciding, "I must meet Grandma again, clarify the files before contacting the court." That morning, Nathan drove to Grandma's house, the Seattle air damp after the rain, a scent of wet earth drifting through the open window. Mia was at school, so was Lily, so he went alone. Grandma opened the door, her wrinkled face in the rare sunlight, holding a cup of cold coffee. "Mr. Hayes, Mia's not home yet." Nathan nodded, stepping into the cramped living room, the chair creaking under his weight. "Ma'am, I need to talk about Rebecca. The records show she once worked at my company." Grandma sat down, her clouded eyes glimmering with tears. "Yes, Rebecca was a programmer for you 6 years ago. She loved her work, created an amazing data formula. But then, the rival approached, tricked her into switching jobs, took her formula, and accused you of theft. The stress made her ill. She died when Mia was just 4. Nathan listened, heart racing, legal tension rising as Grandma revealed more. Rebecca left a diary describing the wealthy deceiver, the rival CEO. "If you use this, the court will clear your old case, but they'll retaliate. They threatened Rebecca back then. Now, they may target Mia." Nathan clenched his fist, grasping the box of keepsakes Grandma handed over. A diary, her shaky handwriting detailing the fraud. "Thank you, ma'am. I'll use this to save the company and protect Mia through adoption procedures." Grandma nodded, voice choked up. "I agree to temporary guardianship. Mia needs a better home, but let me visit. Nathan called Michael right there, determined. Send the temporary guardianship form and prepare to sue our rival. We have new evidence. Michael replied, okay, but legal tension will be high. We'll need a social evaluation, an interview with Mia, and the court may take 1 to 2 months. Ready? Nathan took a deep breath, agreeing, but anxiety flooded in. The legal process was for Mia, but also about the old case, likely to draw the rival in. That afternoon, Nathan picked Mia up from school, Lily chirping in the car. Mia, let's have a fun math lesson at home. Dad says get your books ready. Mia laughed, but Nathan watched in the mirror. The girl was carefree, oblivious to the secret her mother was pulling him into. Back at the mansion, the two girls played. Mia taught Lily math with candy. 1 candy plus 2 is 3, but don't eat them all. Lily laughed, accidentally knocking the candy across the wooden floor with a clatter, making Nathan chuckle from the doorway. Candy math? Nice, but don't get the floor sticky. But as the girls played, Nathan called his assistant. Apply Rebecca's formula. Restore our lost data. The assistant. Done. Saved 70% of the project. But the rival knows. They sent a threatening email. Nathan opened the email. The words appeared on the screen. Rebecca's formula belongs to us. Don't use it, or Mia and Grandma will be in trouble. Nathan froze, heart pounding, tension spiking. The rival knew. He called Michael urgently. Speed up the adoption paperwork. Mia's in danger. Michael. Okay, but we need the social interview tomorrow. Grandma must sign away temporary rights. Nathan nodded, anxiety churning. The formula could save the company, prove his innocence in the old IP theft case, but was now a ticking time bomb hovering over Mia. That night, Nathan hugged Lily to sleep, but Mia was awake, whispering, Nathan, I dreamt of Mom telling me about the formula. It saved someone. Nathan shivered, whispering back, yes, it's saving me. And you. But the next morning there was a knock at the mansion door. Social workers arriving for evaluation, and a new email from the rival. We know you have the formula. Mia will pay the price. Nathan clenched his fist, face pale. Nathan stood frozen in front of the villa door, heart pounding like the echoing knock in a quiet hallway, his breath heavy beneath the dim lights as he read the threatening email from the rival. We know you have the formula. Mia will pay the price. He clenched his fist, hand touching the cold doorknob, the sensation a reminder that legal tension was building. The social worker was coming to assess temporary guardianship, and now Rebecca's secret formula had been exposed. He opened the door, trying to keep his face calm. Come in. You're Patricia from Social Services, right? Patricia stepped in, a professional smile beneath the warm yellow light, the click of her heels on the wooden floor like the start of an inspection. Yes, Mr. Hayes. I'm here today to assess Mia's living environment. The temporary file has been sent, but interviews and observation are required. Lily darted out from the living room, pulling Mia along, the girls' laughter drowning out the tense atmosphere. Miss, Mia's my friend. We just played fun math. Mia taught me to add candies, but I ate one by mistake. Mia covered her mouth, giggling, but her eyes flashed with worry under the light. She felt Patricia's seriousness. Nathan led Patricia into the living room, where the fireplace crackled gently, its warmth making the space less cold. Patricia sat on a soft leather chair, opening her notebook. Mr. Hayes, tell me how you met Mia. And Mia, how do you feel living here? Mia sat next to Nathan, her fingers touching the warm chair, her voice soft. I really like it here. Lily plays with me, and Mr. Nathan is nice. Patricia nodded, taking quick notes, but Nathan knew. This assessment determined temporary guardianship, and if rivals interfered, everything could collapse. After the interview, Patricia nodded with satisfaction. The environment is good, but I need the grandmother's signature to relinquish temporary rights. I will arrange a meeting with her." Nathan nodded, hope swelling inside. The legal process was progressing, but the threatening email still haunted him. That afternoon, he drove the grandmother to the villa, Seattle's air damp after rain, the scent of wet earth wafting through the open car window. The grandmother sat beside him, her hand trembling over her old bag. "Mr. Hayes, I agreed to meet Mia here. She talks about your house all the time." Mia rushed out to hug her grandmother when the car stopped, joyful laughter echoing in the yard, drowning out the faint howl of the wind. "Grandma, I missed you. Today I taught Lily math, but Lily dropped candies all over the floor, looked like falling stars." The grandmother laughed, but her eyes were watery. Mia's subtle humor eased the mood, but she knew this visit was important. They entered the living room, Patricia already waiting, notebook open under the warm light. The grandmother sat down, touching Mia's hand. "Mia, I agree for you to stay here for now. Mr. Hayes is good, and I'm tired." Patricia handed over the paperwork. The grandmother's shaky signed relinquishment of temporary custody, the pen scratching on white paper like a silent moment full of sacrifice. "It's done. Now Mia will temporarily live with Mr. Hayes until the adoption decision in court," Patricia said, standing up to leave. Mia hugged her grandmother, voice emotional. "Don't be sad, Grandma. I'll visit you often." The grandmother wiped her tears, taking a wooden box from her bag. "Mia, this is your mother's keepsake. I'm passing it down to you now." Mia opened the box, trembling fingers touching the yellowed paper. A detailed math formula, with a diary entry from her mother. This data formula saved Nathan's company, but the rival tricked me, accusing him of plagiarism. The numbers prove his innocence. Mia whispered, voice longing. "Mom, you did this for Mr. Nathan?" The grandmother nodded, voice choked. "Rebecca loved working at your company, created the data optimization formula, the key to success. But the rival deceived and recruited her, stole the formula, then sued you for theft to bring you down. That old lawsuit stressed Rebecca so badly she got sick and passed away. Now this original formula proves your innocence and reverses it all." Nathan listened, heart racing. Intense emotions flooded back, remembering his late wife, who also died from stress over that case. He held the paper, his finger tracing the familiar handwriting. "Thank you, Grandma. I'll use this to countersue and seek justice for Rebecca." The grandmother squeezed his hand. "But be careful. They're scheming. Don't let Mia be in danger. I'm relinquishing custody for her to have a better future, but I'll always be part of her life." Mia hugged her more tightly, tears streaming down her face, the warmth from the fire unable to dispel the sadness of parting. The grandmother left, the sound of the taxi fading away in the drizzly rain, leaving behind a heavy silence. Nathan called his assistant. "Apply Rebecca's full formula. Reverse the data. Prepare to sue." Assistant. "Got it. 100% of the project saved, but the rival knows. They may target Mia." Nathan clenched his fist, looking at Mia playing with Lily. "It's okay. I'll protect her." Nathan clenched his hands so tightly that his knuckles cracked under the pale lamp, breathing hard as he reread the formula from Rebecca's diary, the numbers shimmering like whispers from a plotting past. He immediately called his assistant, his voice decisive over the intercom. "Implement this formula in the data system. Break up the vulnerabilities, optimize as Rebecca designed. This is the turnaround key." The assistant replied quickly, voice excited but anxious. "Done, Mr. Hayes. The formula fits perfectly. 90% of the lost data is recovered. The rival's hacking blocked. But if they find out the source, they'll go after you personally, especially Mia." Nathan hung up, heart pounding like the drizzle outside the midnight window. realizing a business victory was approaching. The formula would prove his innocence in the old case, but now it would also save his billion-dollar empire from collapse. He called an emergency board meeting via video call, the laptop screen aglow with anxious board members. "We have evidence. The original formula from our former employee, Rebecca. Launch it immediately. Countersue the rival for idea theft." Applause echoed from the speakers, but Nathan knew the risk. The rival was cunning, and Mia was still a weakness. The next morning, news spread across online media. Nathan Hayes turns the tables, saves company from data hack. Rival sued for idea theft. Nathan stood by the villa window, looking at the lake glinting in the rare Seattle sunlight, breathing easier as the stock price soared, his phone buzzing with congratulations. He'd won. The empire was stable, the old case vindicated, the rival was reeling under legal pressure. But his joy was mixed with worry, and he called Michael. "How's the adoption process? We need it done faster." Michael replied, "All documents sent to the court, positive social interview. The grandmother relinquished her rights. In 1 week there'll be a guardianship decision." Mia was fitting in more and more, becoming an indispensable part of the household. That morning she helped Lily put on her school uniform, their giggles echoing through the hallway. "Lily, your buttons are backward. You look like a superhero." Lily burst out laughing, hugging Mia. "Mia's the best. Dad said today I'll do math with you." Nathan watched from the doorway, filled with family love. He stepped in and hugged both girls as his own daughters, the warmth making Mia shiver with emotion. "Thank you, Mia. You didn't just save Lily's math, you saved me too." Mia looked up, her brown eyes sparkling. I just did what Mom taught me." Family bonds grew stronger in daily moments. That night Nathan read stories to the girls by the fireplace, the soft crackling of wood filling the room. Mia leaned against him, whispering, "Nathan, can I stay here forever?" Nathan hugged her tighter, his deep voice warm. "Of course, you're part of my family now," Lily chimed in, with childlike humor. "Yeah, now that Mia's here, I'll be great at math and be CEO like Dad. But I won't spill milk everywhere." The three of them laughed, the gentle humor bridging any gap between rich and poor, making Mia truly feel she belonged. But then a small twist arrived. Mia woke up in the middle of the night, the wind howling outside the window like a whisper of anxiety. She crept to the kitchen for water, accidentally overhearing Nathan on the phone. "Mia is safe now, but the rival knows about the formula from her mother. They might come after us." Mia froze, heart beating wildly, hand trembling against the cold wall. Fear of being sent away washed over her. Will they send me away because of Mom's secret? She went back to her room, curling up under the warm blanket, tears streaming down her cheeks. Her fragile hope now tinged with invisible fear. Nathan ended the call, sighing heavily, then called his assistant. "Increase security around the villa. Mia is at risk." Assistant. "Done. But the rival is scheming. They may even be monitoring the grandmother." Nathan hung up, looking at the dark lake, realizing the business victory was just the beginning. Mia's mother's secret was now a double-edged sword, and Mia could be pulled deeper into the whirlpool. But the next morning, when Mia came down to the kitchen, her face anxious, Nathan hugged her. "Are you all right?" Mia whispered. "I'm afraid you'll send me away." Nathan held her tight, his voice firm. "Never. You're my daughter now." Yet in his mind, worry surged. The rival was ready to strike. Nathan tightened his arms around Mia, the warmth from her small body spreading through his shirt, somewhat dissolving the anxiety rising in his chest. The rival was about to attack, but in this moment, he would protect her at all costs. Mia looked up, her brown eyes sparkling under the kitchen's early morning light, her whisper full of trust. "I believe in you, Nathan. I'm not scared anymore." Lily burst in from the door, her childish voice excited. "Mia, today the social worker is coming. Dad said we have to act out the perfect family. I'll be the teacher. You'll be the best student." Mia burst out laughing, Lily's subtle humor lightening the atmosphere. "Okay, but don't let me fail your class, Teacher Lily." Patricia arrived right on time, her professional smile shining in the rare Seattle sun, high heels clicking on the mansion's foyer like the beat of an impending inspection. Nathan opened the door, his voice calm. "Come in, Patricia. Mia and Lily are waiting." Patricia stepped into the spacious living room, sunlight spilling through the large glass doors and reflecting off the shimmering lake, creating a cozy feeling. But Nathan knew this assessment would decide temporary custody, and if the opposing side intervened, everything could collapse. "Today, I'm going to observe and conduct additional interviews," Patricia said, opening her notebook under the gentle light. Mia and Lily sat on the carpet, their math books open with cute little drawings. Mia teaching Lily to add numbers by drawing stars. "See here. 3 stars plus 2 makes 5, just like falling stars on the lake." Lily drew more, accidentally drawing a crooked smiley face, exclaiming, "Oops, now my math monster is scary." Patricia chuckled, taking notes. "You two are very close. Mia, how do you feel living here?" Mia answered softly but firmly. "I'm happy, ma'am. Lily is my playmate, and Nathan looks after us, just like a real family." Patricia nodded and turned to Nathan. "Mr. Hayes, the process is progressing well. Rebecca's background check is confirmed. The grandmother has signed temporary relinquishment. The court will review the adoption next week, but a final evaluation is needed." Nathan breathed a sigh of relief, but tension still simmered inside. He knew the rival was watching, and the formula from Rebecca would not only save the company, but also serve as evidence to clear his old case. Patricia observed further, seeing Lily and Mia act out the perfect family. Lily as dad, Mia as mom, both setting the breakfast table with sandwich plates. Lily, imitating a stern voice. "Mom, Mia, today, I scored 10-10 in math." Mia laughed, chiming in. "But Dad, Lily, you forgot to add candy." Patricia burst out laughing, her subtle humor prompting her to write, "Supportive environment, strong family bonds." After Patricia left, Nathan called Michael. "Positive evaluation, speed up the adoption, the rival is threatening." Michael replied, "Got it, but the court needs to interview Mia alone. Be ready for next week." Nathan hung up, looking out at the tranquil lake but feeling unsettled. Legal procedures were nearing completion, yet the danger from the rival still loomed. He turned to Mia, sitting by the lakeside, a gentle breeze playing with her hair. "Mia, I want to tell you about destiny. Your mother once worked for me, and the formula she left behind saved me from big trouble. You're a reminder from your mom, from my late wife. A romantic destiny that brings back hope." Mia listened, her heart racing as emotions surged. I'm proud of my mom, and I'm happy to be here with you." Their bond deepened in that moment. Nathan hugged Mia, the warmth closing the distance between them. Lily ran over, squeezing between them. "Now there are 3 in our family, like math. 1 + 1 + 1. All 3 laughed. But Nathan knew. The anxiety remained. The rival could attack any time. That afternoon, Nathan received an email from his assistant. The formula was applied successfully. The rival lost a major contract, but they sent a threatening letter, targeting Mia. Nathan gripped his phone, his face going pale as he suddenly saw an email attachment. A photo of Mia at school, captioned, "The little girl knows too much." Nathan decided to call his lawyer. "Prepare to sue. Use the formula as evidence. The assistant warned him. High risk. They'll target Mia to silence her. Nathan looked out at Mia playing in the yard, his heart tight. He was determined to protect her at all costs. Nathan gripped the steering wheel, breathing heavily as he drove through Seattle's damp streets after a night's rain. Streetlights reflecting off the road like swirling math equations in his mind. His grandmother's call still echoed in his ears. There's a stranger watching my house since last night. A black car parked outside. I think the rival knows about the formula. He turned off the radio, decisively calling his assistant. Verify immediately. A black car is tailing Mia's grandmother. Increase security. Move her to the mansion. The assistant responded quickly. Already done. Cameras caught the plate number. It's a rental. Definitely the opposition. I'll pick her up right away. A week later, Nathan stopped the car in front of the courthouse. The solemn atmosphere accentuated by the faint scent of old documents wafting through the big glass entrance. Footsteps echoing on the marble floor like his heartbeat at this moment. The court session to decide Mia's adoption, and the lawsuit against the rival for stealing Rebecca's formula, both taking place under U.S. child protection and commercial dispute law. Michael was already waiting, thick case files in his hands. Ready? The court will hear testimony from the grandmother and Mia, then decide on adoption. The parallel lawsuit will clear your name in the old case. Nathan nodded, heartbeat racing. American culture emphasizes child welfare, and adoption proceedings must prove a stable environment. With Mia's circumstances, the court could grant swift approval if uncontested. Mia entered the courtroom, clutching Nathan's hand, her brown eyes sparkling under fluorescent lights, breathing easier upon seeing her grandmother seated in the back row, wrinkled face but warm smile. Mia, I'm here with you. The judge banged the gavel, the sound ringing out like destiny's period. The hearing commenced. We are reviewing the adoption of Mia Jenkins by Mr. Nathan Hayes, with evidence from background checks and social assessments. Michael presented, his voice firm. Your Honor, Rebecca, Mia's mother, passed away 8 months ago. The grandmother relinquished custody due to age and frailty. Mr. Hayes provides a stable environment, and Mia has expressed her wish to be with him. Mia took the stand, her voice soft but steady in the stern light. I want to live with Nathan and Lily. There I have friends and can study, like a real family. The grandmother testified, her voice choked. I agree. I'm a maid. I can't take care of Mia anymore. Nathan is good and Rebecca. She used to work for him. She'd be happy knowing her daughter is safe. The judge nodded, reviewing the documents. With positive social evaluation and no disputes, the court grants official adoption. Mia Hayes, congratulations on your new family. Mia cheered, hugging Nathan tightly, tears rolling down her cheeks under the courtroom lights. I have a new name. Lily ran over from the front row, her laughter ringing out. Mia's a Hayes like me. Nathan hugged them both, heart overflowing with hope. Legal procedures done, Mia was now officially his daughter under U.S. law, with full child protection rights. The grandmother wiped away tears, hugging Mia. I'm happy for you, but please visit me. Nathan nodded, his voice emotional. You're part of our family. Come stay at the mansion. The lawsuit with the rival concluded quickly. The court recognized Rebecca's original formula, clearing Nathan of idea theft charges and ordering $1 billion compensation. The rival was shaken, but Nathan knew. The scheming wasn't over yet. On the way home, his assistant called. The black car tailing the grandmother was apprehended. They hired a private detective to threaten her. But the police intervened, and the rival won't dare act again. Nathan breathed a sigh of relief as the car sped down a sunny Seattle street, the scent of wildflowers drifting in through the open window. Back at the mansion, Mia and Lily played by the lake, their laughter echoing. "Mia, now you're my real sister. 1 + 1 is a big family." Mia smiled, hugging Lily. "Yes, and I'll teach you math forever." Nathan watched, feeling at peace. The battle in the business world was won. The family was complete. Rebecca's secret had brought justice at last. Seattle's autumn arrives with a gentle, refreshing breeze, carrying the scent of dried leaves and damp earth through the wide-open windows of Nathan's lakeside villa. Sunlight glimmers on the water, creating golden ripples that reflect the newfound warmth within the Hayes family. Mia, now officially Mia Hayes after the court's decision, clutches her new school uniform, a crisp white shirt and a navy skirt that fits her petite frame perfectly. Her brown eyes, reminiscent of Nathan's late wife, sparkle with a mix of excitement and anxiety as she stands before the large mirror. "Nathan, how do I look?" Mia asks, smoothing her skirt with careful hands. Nathan leans against the doorframe, his throat tight. "Like a star student ready to conquer the world," he replies warmly. Lily rushes in, her uniform slightly askew, grabs Mia's hand. "Mia, we'll be the best team in class. I'll show you the secret lunch spot by the oak tree." The girls' giggles echo down the hallway, infusing the house with life, soothing the cold emptiness left by old pain. At St. Thomas, Mia's first day is a whirlwind of new faces and a hectic schedule. Principal Carter greets her personally, informed of Mia's special journey through her connection with Nathan. Mia clutches her new backpack, a vibrant blue present from Nathan, stuffed with fresh notebooks and pre-sharpened pencils. In math class, Mia solves a 2-digit addition problem on the board, earning a gold star sticker from the teacher. "You're a natural, Mia," the teacher says, and Mia beams, recalling her mother's lessons under the flickering streetlight. Meanwhile, Nathan sits in his office, Seattle's skyline stretching beyond the windows. A news alert pops up on his laptop. Tech rival collapses after court verdict. Stock plummets amid data theft scandal. The article details how Nathan's competitor, exposed for stealing Rebecca's formula, now faces lawsuits and public outrage. Their CEO resigns, shares crash, contracts dissolve, leaving them unable to challenge Nathan any longer. He closes his laptop, a quiet satisfaction spreading. The taste of business victory is sweet, but nothing compares to the joy of his new family. Back home, Mia and Lily sprawl on the living room rug, swapping stories about school. "The teacher said I can join the math club," Mia says, eyes shining. Lily elbows her, grinning. "I knew it. Mia's going to be a math star." Nathan watches from the couch, more at ease than ever. The ache of losing his wife still lingers, but the girl's laughter is healing, rekindling a sense of purpose he thought he'd lost. The doorbell rings. Mia dashes to answer. Grandma is there, her old coat dusted with autumn leaves, holding a basket of homemade cookies. "I'm here to visit you, dear," she says, her voice gentle and warm. Mia hugs her tightly, comforted by the scent of lavender from her grandma's scarf. Nathan had rebuilt Grandma's little house in South Seattle, with a new roof, fresh paint, and a cozy garden, using recent company profits. She'd refused to move in, wanting to keep her independence, but their weekly visits have become a treasured routine. Over tea, Grandma tells stories of Rebecca's childhood, her love of numbers, and her dreams for Mia. "She's just like her mother, smart and strong," Grandma says, patting Mia's hand. Nathan nods, feeling his connection to Rebecca through Mia, a bridge between past and present. As sunset spills across the sky, the family gathers by the lake. Mia sketches equations in her new notebook. Lily doodles stars beside her. Nathan realizes he's truly smiling, for the first time in years. The family he's built isn't just a legal tie, it's a home, woven together by love and resilience. Winter lays a soft blanket of fog over Seattle, holiday lights twinkling on the villa's windows. Mia's room, once the sitting room, is now her haven. Bookshelves overflowing with children's stories and math books, a desk scattered with colored pencils, and a bed made cozy by a star-embroidered quilt from Grandma. Mia sits cross-legged on the carpet, puzzling over fractions, brow furrowed in concentration. "Mia, you're going to win the math club contest," Lily calls from the doorway, carrying a tray of hot cocoa and sporting a crookedly festive reindeer sweater. Nathan peeks in, his heart swelling. "Dinner's almost ready. Your favorite, Mia. Extra cheesy spaghetti." Mia grins, putting her puzzle aside. As long as Lily doesn't eat all the cheese first. The girls' laughter spills into the room, a melody that's become the soundtrack of Nathan's life. Over the months, Mia shines at St. Thomas, earning top marks and a spot in math club. Teachers marvel at her skills, unaware of the nights she once studied beneath streetlights. Mia makes friends, her shy smile now growing with confidence. At the dining table, all three share stories under the chandelier's glow. Lily recounts her attempt at building a lumpy snowman, while Mia describes her science fair project, a solar system model. Nathan listens, fork suspended mid-air, astonished at how Mia fits so naturally into their lives. She's no longer the sad child behind school gates. She's his daughter, Lily's equal. Afterwards, they gather by the fireplace, the crackling logs blending with the scent of pine from the towering Christmas tree. Mia hugs the family photo album, fingers tracing pictures of her mom, now joined by new ones. First days at school, baking with Lily, a trip to the Seattle Aquarium. "Nathan, I think Mom would be proud," she whispers. Nathan kneels beside her, voice tender. "She's definitely proud, Mia. And she'd love to see you soar, just like she taught you." This year, Grandma comes for Christmas. They cook together, the kitchen filled with laughter and the rich aroma of stew. She has her mother's smile, Grandma says, stirring the pot as Mia and Lily set the table. Nathan watches, eyes misty, realizing this is the healing he yearned for. A family reborn from loss, united by love and shared dreams. Near midnight, they bundle up and watch snowflakes fall, glittering over the lake. Mia whispers, "I used to dream of having a family, and now I really do." Lily hugs her, adding, "And we're the best math team ever." Nathan draws them both close. The chill outside can't touch the warmth between them. "You two are everything to me," he says, his voice thick with emotion. Mia's journey, from the streets to a loving home, proves that resilience can rewrite any story, and Nathan's once broken heart is now whole. If this story of courage, family, and second chances touched you, please share it with someone you love. Like, subscribe to True Millionaire Moments, and help spread Mia's journey. A reminder that even the smallest dream can light up the darkest path. Your support is always the driving force that helps us grow each day. Thank you.